everybody, this is Tami from Nutmeg Notebook. You know, we talk a lot about batch cooking and how it helps you stay on your food plan, makes plant-based eating a lot easier. So I just wanted to show you today what I did for batch cooking this morning. So I always start out by preheating my oven and getting potatoes going. So I did a few pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes. Those are my favorite. Then I also did a batch of regular sweet potatoes. These were organic potatoes, both of these that I bought at Costco this past week. And we put these just like this into the refrigerator. I don't cover them. They'll last for a good 10 days if we don't eat them all up before then. And what we'll do with these is we'll put chili or lentil soup over the top of them. We'll do beans and cheese sauce and green onions and corn and make it a taco potato. Do the same thing with the sweet potatoes. We also use these as snacks. We'll take them, put them in a Ziploc bag and toss them in the car when we're going someplace, and that makes a great snack. For dessert, we'll cut it open, either heat it up or eat it cold, sprinkled with a little dusting of cinnamon, and that's fantastic. I also had a lot of vegetables in my fridge that I needed to get used up before they went bad. So I just made a ratatouille, and I learned how to do this from Chef AJ, and it was just eggplant, zucchini, red onion. I had some little salad tomatoes that were starting to get a little dehydrated, and they were getting a little bit puckery. So that's an excellent time to oven roast those with the vegetables. I sprinkled these with just a little bit of garlic powder and onion powder, put them on a cookie sheet, and cooked them at 400 degrees for about 35 or 40 minutes. Stirred them once or twice, and if you have mushrooms, you can add those. Sometimes I'll do Brussels sprouts. Works out really great. Another staple item is the brown rice. I cook this in my rice cooker. I do 10 cups of rice at a time. Actually, Tom usually does this. Hubby Tom does it. But today he wasn't here, so I had to do it. And then we divide it up. I put one big container in the fridge that we'll use during the week. And then I divide it up into 4-cup servings, and we'll put lids on this and pop this in the freezer, and then we'll just take out one at a time. So we only have to cook rice about every other week. Just depends on, you know, what we're into eating that day or that week. So I also made these taco lentils, and the recipe is on my blog at nutmegnotebook.com. And I've divided these up into 2 containers. One's going to go in the freezer, and one we will have out to eat over the next week. So we can either make tacos out of these with corn tortillas, or we can load up a potato with some of these and then some vegan cheese sauce over the top, and that's always delicious. It can also go on a sweet potato. It can go on top of rice. Sometimes I make my own corn chips with corn tortillas. I just cut them into triangles, preheat my oven to 400 degrees, put them on a piece of parchment paper on a baking sheet, and cook them until they get nice and crispy. And then we can put these on top of the chips with different toppings: cilantro, green onions, cheese sauce, chopped red pepper, jalapenos, whatever. And that's a delicious thing to make. I had 2 acorn squash that needed to be cooked. So I just, what I do, because these are really hard to cut, if Tom's not here to help me, then I will wash these, pierce them a few times with a sharp paring knife, put it in my microwave on a layer of paper towels for about 4 minutes, and then take it out carefully, let it cool down. Once it's cooled, it has softened just enough that I can cut into it. Then I'll cut it in half and scrape out the insides. Don't have to oil these, just put them on parchment paper, preheat your oven to 400 degrees, put them in there. Depends on how big they are, how long it takes, but usually about 35 to 40 minutes, and you're golden. Now, this was a dish that I just made. I made up this morning. I used to make something like this with Italian sausages, and of course we don't eat Italian sausages anymore. So I put some of those little tomatoes that were starting to get puckery, and a chopped red onion, and potatoes cut up instead of using a sausage. Put that in a 425-degree oven. I let it cook for about 40 minutes. Took it out, stirred it, added 2 boxes of unsalted white beans, and put it back in the oven for about another 15 minutes. Put Italian seasoning in it, and it's a nice little casserole. It was really good. Tom had it for lunch, and he liked it. This is Donna's cheese sauce. It's my favorite vegan cheese sauce, and I tried a bunch of them. And this one's actually really, really delicious and tastes cheesy. The recipe is on my blog at nutmegnotebook.com. So we'll have this with the lentils. Sometimes I'll just put it on a baked potato. I also will make fries out of these. So I'll take the cold cooked potatoes, slice them into fry shapes. I'll put them in a cooking tray. Oh, I should get that out and show you. Hang on a second. On this, see how it's just a mesh and it's oven safe, and so you can cut your little French fries up, put them on here, put it in a 425-degree oven, and you won't have to turn them. They will get crispy all around. I got these, they're called crisping trays, I think, from QVC. So you get one big one and one little one, and it works great, makes awesome fries. If you don't have that, what you can do is cut those potatoes, cold potatoes, into French fry shapes, put them on a baking sheet, and put them under the broiler, and broil them until they're nice and brown. You can do that with the sweet potatoes too, and have sweet potato fries, and that's really awesome. Then what I have here is, I had half of a red onion left over, and I had 1 red bell pepper, so I just went ahead and cut those and prepped them, and this will either be for snacks, and the red onions will just go into salads or, a soup. So that's it. That's what I did today. I still need to make a soup. Now I'll probably throw some lentils into a crock pot or a pot of beans and get that going. And we're pretty well set for quite a few days. And then I can just add a couple things in the later in the week, make another soup or a chili or a vegan stew. And I also will freeze some of those soups and chilies to go along with this rice that I have cooked ahead. So if you have any questions, you can leave me questions in the comments. Thanks so much, you guys. Bye.